Guys, it's over. It's absolutely over. It is totally over. Manchester City are champions of the Premier League, and I don't want us to have any kind of hope in the remaining teams. I don't want to raise my expectations in the remaining teams. It's over. 4-0. 4-0 against Fulham in a game we all thought this was maybe the game. This was the game that Man City could go out there and find it difficult. They have beaten Fulham at the Craven Cottage 4-0. And I tell you, a new centre-back that cost 80 million has scored a brace in this game. Josko Gvardiol, man of the match, absolutely fantastic. And that is that for me. I'm not even thinking about it again. I'm not giving my thoughts again about this Premier League title. It's over. And I said it against Villa. And I don't know what I'm disappointed. I don't know what I'm disappointed about. I don't know why I am disappointed. Because I said it against Aston Villa that, after losing that game, I said it was over. You don't give Man City a chance and then you pray. You'd rather give Manchester City no chance and pray, but you don't give Manchester City and choose to pray. And Mikel Arteta is going to look back to this fixture against Fulham and he is going to scratch his head, but he will never get answers. He will never get answers as to why we have not beaten a Fulham side that Liverpool have beaten home and away, that Man City have beaten home and away. We will never get a response. We will never get an answer. And their performance at the Emirates Stadium, Fulham get a red card. We are 2 goals to 1 up, and they find an equalizer with 10 men. That is where we dropped the title. Because if Arsenal get 2 more points against Fulham, anywhere against Fulham, we are on the same number of points as Man City, same games, and maybe we go and do something different. But I don't want to criticize Mikel, and I don't want to criticize this Arsenal team. We have been remarkable, we have been impeccable, but Manchester City are Manchester City. You look at Man City, they have not lost a single game in 90 minutes. They have not lost a single game in 90 minutes in 2024. Not in the Champions League, not in the Premier League, not in the FA Cup. They've not lost a single game. Actually, to give you a very good statistic, Man City have not lost a single game in the 90 minutes with Rodri playing. That is close to 70 games. That is close to 70 games. They've not lost a single game where Rodri has played in 90 minutes. That is close to 70 games. It's 60 plus games. And that is the team we go against. I don't know what to believe. Is it that we cannot go against City? I think we can go against City, and I think this season it showed. We went against Liverpool, picked up good points. We went against City, picked up good points. 4 points out of 6 against City. That's brilliant. 4 points out of 6 against Liverpool. That is absolutely brilliant. But where we failed is when we had to do the job. And for me, Pep Guardiola is an absolute genius of a manager. He's a really, really big genius of the manager, because he saw this run. He looked at this run. He looked at the last 10 games of the Premier League, and he said, you just have to win the last 10 games of the Premier League. Arsenal are not going to beat, Tottenham. They beat Aston Villa. They beat, Chelsea. They're not going to win all those games. And he was spot on. And Liverpool, there were always signs that Liverpool were always going to drop some points. And, I think City knew that. I think Pep Guardiola knew that and told the boys, just calm down. Don't force things. Things are actually going to perfectly fall in order. Now, the only game that Manchester City are going to psychologically have a question to answer is, can they score their first goal against Tottenham Hotspur in their new stadium? This is my answer. Yes, they can. They have beaten Wolverhampton Wanderers 4. They have beaten, Fulham 4. And those are games where we all thought, there's a lot of pressure. Arsenal, are probably, winning before them, and therefore that's creating a lot of pressure. There is no pressure on Man City ever. They don't feel any pressure. They don't feel anything. They don't feel like they need to step up. They have beaten Fulham 4-0 at the Craven Cottage in gear number 2 or number 3 actually. Because if Josko Gvardiol is on the score sheet, Erling Haaland not on the score sheet. If they, look at the players that have scored. Like, it's easy for for Manchester City. And the Premier League is officially a farmers' league. It's an officially, it's officially a farmers' league. They have allowed Man City to run away with all these charges. They have allowed Man City to create, an empire, illegally, and this is where we are now. This is where we are now. We are, fighting a force that has illegitimately, been built, and you cannot catch it. For me, at 89 points, at 89 points in any campaign, Arsenal win this league. Just think about the invisible season when Arsenal got 90 points, right? That is one of the remarkable best seasons ever. It could be bettered by, Leverkusen if they win all trophies, all games unbeaten. But that invisible season, one of the best campaigns we have ever seen in Premier League football. But this Manchester City side, if Arsenal had gone unbeaten in 2004, 2003, 2004, we wouldn't have won the title. Honestly, in 2004, against this Man City side, you don't win the title because they somehow make it 91 points. They somehow make it, a much better goal difference. Right now, Arsenal have a 2-goal advantage in terms of goal difference against Man City. Man City play Tottenham, who we know defensively are the worst team, and they're also taking on West Ham. Of course, we know that defensively they're worse than Tottenham. I don't know what they are because Tottenham are the worst. So West Ham, I don't know what they are. So there is a possibility that Man City score a minimum of 6 goals in their next in their next 2 fixtures. A minimum of 6 goals, a maximum of 10, because they can actually do that. And that means that even if Arsenal were to get a miracle and City drop points somewhere, they will win this league on goal difference. They will win this league, on goal difference. They will win it. So I'm done. I'm done hyping myself. I'm done watching Manchester City games. I'm done. I'm just gonna watch Arsenal games, support my club, and know that we have finished second amicably. It's okay. It's absolutely fine. Finishing second to Manchester City, to this Manchester City and Pep Guardiola, that is absolutely all right, because you can't compete with that. You cannot compete with a team that goes 10 games unbeaten, only wins in the Premier League, and then they tell us that the Premier League is the best league in the world. There's a lot of intensity. There is a lot of competitiveness. It is not there. The intensity and the competitiveness is down the bottom, right? It is down the bottom. It is not up here. There is no competitiveness there. But the reflection and the message for Arsenal and the Arsenal fans, I think this result is really going to hurt the way we're going into the Manchester United game, because maybe you thought that City could win it 1-0, or there could be signs of City, frailing. But the team has seen it. Mikel Arteta has seen it. There is no chance City drop points. There is no chance that this team is going to wake up and drop points. If they drop points, guys, if they drop points, right? If they drop points, you just call me a fool. If they drop any points, call me a fool. And I said it after Aston Villa, that we have given it away. We gave it away at Aston Villa. Obviously, if we beat Fulham and West Ham, at home, the title race is different. But we gave it away at Aston Villa. We changed our winning 11. And for me, Mikel, again, he's going to go back, look into the mirror, look at the reflection, and ask himself, why did you do it? Why did you play against Villa without a defensive midfielder? There is no reason in this world why you play against Unai Emery without a defensive midfielder. Why did we play, Aston Villa against Villa without a defensive midfielder? Why did we force Kai Havertz in midfield? Why did we play a dormant attack against Villa that couldn't finish chances? Why did we? Why? We should have played Kai Havertz up top. We should have played Jorginho in midfield, and we should have controlled that game better. Even if you get a point out of the Aston Villa game, it's different. It's different, right? But right now, we've got to live to regrets. We got our chances in the first half of that game. We didn't bury them. We got our chances in the second half of that game. We didn't bury them. We couldn't even hold on to a draw. For that case, Alexander Zinchenko was doing a lot of crap. He refused to take him off. right? Before he caused any damage. And again, signs of Mikel Arteta destroying himself, signs of Mikel Arteta crumbling under pressure. They showed again at a very bad time. Now, let's give credit where it's due. Let's start off with Arsenal. For you to go 84 points, is it 84 or 83 points last season? That was remarkable. For us to do that, that was remarkable. And I know we bottled it because we were on top of the Premier League for the longest period of time, right? And we were on top of the Premier League with a 7-point advantage. We shouldn't have bottled that. And I'm going to tell you this again. If Arsenal win the Premier League last season, we win it again this season. But because we didn't win it last campaign, there are still doubts in the team. There's still a lot of doubts in this team. There are very big doubts. But for us to go 84 points last campaign, that was massive. And for us to go 89, even 83, like back to back, 83 points last campaign, 83 points this campaign. For us to do it back to back, it is impressive. It's remarkable. Like, as an Arsenal fan, during my era, I have not seen Arsenal this good. Honestly, I've not seen the Arsenal this good. Even in those title seasons where Arsenal lost the title to Manchester United narrowly, I don't think Arsenal were this good. I don't think Arsenal were this dominant. I don't think Arsenal were this relentless in games. So credit where it's due to Mikel Arteta. He's created a monster that might never win the Premier League, a monster that might never win trophies because there is a juggernaut in Pep Guardiola. So I still see Pep win the Premier League next season. I still see Mancity win the Premier League the season after that because they're coming from the back of the treble, right? They're coming from the back of the treble, and they must be tired. We said they must be frustrated. We said, but there must be a lack of ambition and a lack of motivation. We said that they have not brought in very high quality, top class players. We said Kevin De Bruyne's injury will affect them. We said Kovacic is not as good as Gundogan. We said all these things. They've just gone and said, no, we are still here. And if you want to compete with us, we will be available to compete with you as well. So Arsenal and Mikel, congratulations for the season. I think we bottled the Premier League. Yeah, we bottled the Premier League at Aston Villa at our own stadium. If that game was at the Villa Park, I wouldn't say Arsenal bottled the Premier League. But because it was at the Emirates, because we have gone to stadiums that are really hard and failed to lose, we bottled the Premier League against Aston Villa at the Emirates. Now, does this mean City don't take any credit? No. I think City deserve. I mean, no one talks about Man City and the credit they deserve, but City deserve a lot of credit. Like, imagine going 4 consecutive seasons playing at the very top against Liverpool and new forces in Newcastle and Arsenal. That is remarkable. That is really, really remarkable. And yes, they've spent a lot of money, and yes, they have put together and assembled a really big army. But that there is no evidence to that. You look at Bayern and the quality they have as compared to Bayer Leverkusen, and Bayern have not won the Premier League, and Bayer Leverkusen are champions, right? It really hurts that we have not won the Premier League. It really hurts that we're not going to win it. And the title parade that has been organized by Mikel Arteta, we might as well just do a runners-up parade. Right? We need to do a runners-up parade. We need the new rule should be, if you finish second 2 times against Man City, you are a champion. That should be the rule. You finish 2 times behind Man City, you are now a champion as well. Because how do you beat Man City? How do you overcome Man City? How do you hope that they drop points? Because they don't. They never do. They are going to win. Listen, Man City are going to win the Premier League by winning games from December to May. Like, during that period of time, Arsenal have lost to West Ham, Arsenal have lost to Fulham, Arsenal lost to Aston Villa. During that same period of time, we've drawn to City, and we've I think drawn to Liverpool, and we've lost to Villa actually 2 times, I think, during that period of time. The last game Man City lost was against Villa, in the same week that Arsenal lost to Villa at the Villa Park. So ever since then, City have not lost another game. And ever since then, Arsenal have lost to Villa again. We've lost to those bums, Fulham, and we've lost to West Ham. How can we lose to West Ham at home? How can we lose to Villa? How can we lose to all these teams at home? How? It's where the title was lost, at the Emirates Stadium. And the title is always celebrated at the Emirates Stadium because if we had won it, we would win it at the Emirates Stadium against Everton. And we lost it at the Emirates against Aston Villa. So congratulations to City. For me, they deserve it. They are deserving winners. The charges, of course, have not been decided, but they are deserving winners of this league. What Arsenal take out of this is that this season we have lost 5 games and drawn 7 games. I think that's it. Yeah, we've lost 5 games. 2 against Villa, 1 against West Ham, 1 against Fulham. There's another loss that I don't remember. Newcastle. 5 games that we have lost. Next season, you lose 3 and you draw less than 5 games. That is the only way you go against Man City. And it's a pity because we might not be able to beat Man City again next season. We might not have the results we have got against a poor Liverpool side and a Jurgen Klopp's last season because Ancelotti might actually revamp them. We might not get the result we've got against Chelsea. We might not be able to beat Manchester United like we beat them. So there's a high chance that we lose more games next season, and there's a high chance that we draw more games next season, and there's a high chance that we are not even anywhere close to City, because although City are tired, but Arsenal are also tired. Like, we've gone toe-to-toe with Man City for 2 consecutive seasons. It has taken some energy out of this team. It has taken some toll out of these players. And next season, you guys will see it, that we will not be performing. Maybe we'll be performing at the level we are, but consistently, I doubt so. And of course, you have 8 Champions League games in the group stages. We should have tried to win something. And Mikel Arteta, he's got to stop this business of thinking that whenever he's chasing for the Premier League, he has to give up on the FA Cup, and he has to give up on the Carabao Cup. For me, without Manchester City winning it, right, Arsenal should be on the finals with Liverpool for the Carabao Cup. Without Man City, winning it, Arsenal should be on the final of the FA Cup with Man City. Like, how can you explain that we are one of the best defensive sides in the Premier League, we are one of the high-scoring sides in the Premier League, and yet we get knocked out of competitions as soon as we start them? Because if you win the FA Cup last season and this season, right? If we win the FA Cup last season and this season, and we win the Europa League last season, those are 3 trophies without the Premier League. Yeah, that's okay. But a trophyless season, another trophyless season, it doesn't really sit with me, right? It doesn't really sit well with me. But this is a group of young players. They will turn up. They will get their glory eventually. But again, it's going to be another downer, really downer, in that Arsenal dressing room. Ciao.